Okay, I got your message, Vandana. That's cool. Good to have you on. Okay, so people are still going to be jumping in as I'm going to kick it off now, and people can join in as and when they are ready to. So thank you everyone for joining me on the session today. It's been a few months since I ran a class, and I was itching to run this one because a few things have happened through the last few months. People have been away on holidays, summer. I don't know, have any of you managed to get away? I, got on a plane for the first time over summer, and that was eye-opening, the space we're in right now. So navigating through everything we're going through. But, it was so good to finally see family. So it was a good break, and I didn't realize how much I needed to get away because you don't know, you want to go away, and you feel stressed out, but you don't take into account how stressed you are. So as much as possible, can everyone please put themselves on mute so there is no interruption, unless you want to ask a question as I'm going on along. Please feel free to do that as well. Yeah, so stress does affect our hormones and everything that's going on a daily basis. So we're just going to delve deep into what the hormones are, how they affect our lives on a daily basis, and how we can balance them in a more holistic, natural way. I think a lot of you who are on this call know me by now, but this is me. I'm Gloria Hallam, author, now an award-winning holistic health practitioner, and certified aromatherapist. I used to speak a lot on stages, TEDx, and have all these qualifications. So what we're going to go through on this class is how hormones are produced, different types of hormones, how they affect the body, what is hormonal imbalance, and what are the signs and symptoms of hormonal imbalance, and what causes that. And then we're going to go through 7 steps. I think I have a lot more than 7, but I just put 7 steps there because every time I put 7 on there and I kept adding onto it, because when I share information, I just feel like there's so much that I need to and want to share, and not very good at editing my work or my talks, or like I say to people when I'm talking about health, in order to help people, I literally have verbal diarrhea where it comes to health, because I'm passionate about it, and I just want as much as possible to help support any person. As I know I work especially with women, but anybody needs the information. For those who don't know my journey, years ago, I used to be an IT consultant in the finance sector in London. Through that, got diagnosed with breast cancer, went through the crazy, and the type of cancer I had was hormone receptor breast cancer. And that is what led me on this path to be interested and focused on hormone health, because through my research, I found out that one of the factors that leads to the type of cancer I had is estrogen dominance, and there's also the lifestyle factors, which we'll go into as well. And through my journey, I ended up going through the whole process of healing myself. I discovered that you have to start with food, and that led me to write my book, Healing Foods, Healthy Foods. I trained at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in New York to become a certified holistic health practitioner. Okay, so let's dive in. You're looking at the screen right now, and on a scale of 1 to 10, let's think about what's going on with you right now. 1 being no unwanted symptoms, and 10 being out of control symptoms. How is your monthly cycle? I want you to be, I like my classes to be interactive. So please put your answer in the chat box. Let me see where everyone is at this point in time. How is your monthly cycle? How are you having post or perimenopausal symptoms? And on a daily basis, how do you feel generally? I know when there are things going on with us, we don't necessarily think health-wise, we don't necessarily think about, oh, maybe my hormones are out of balance. But whatever symptoms you're having now that has led you to come to this class to find out, post in the chat how your monthly cycle is on a scale of 1 to 10. Let me know what that is, and I'll be checking in with you. And are there any areas of hormonal balance that are difficult for you? Perhaps it's hyper, or you're experiencing hyper or hypothyroidism, adrenal fatigue, difficulty losing weight, because weight loss is something that a lot of women on the planet focus on, so much. They go on a diet to lose weight, and while they're doing that, they get to a certain point and they try, no matter how much they try, there's just that extra, few pounds that they can't seem to get rid of, right? You've done so much and you can't seem to get rid of the those extra few pounds. So or you're experiencing mood swings, or you're having trouble sleeping, infertility issues, poor memory, type 2 diabetes, any other symptoms, what's not, rather difficulty, what's going on for you right now? So post in the chat is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how you would rate your health right now. I think that's a better way to put it, rather than how would you rate your health right now on a scale of 1 to 10, with symptoms you're experiencing. Please do that in the chat box and I will check in a bit. Actually do it now. Let me see where people are. No one is experiencing anything. Even if you're not experiencing anything, just put it in a 1 or, in between. Let me see where you are. Post in the chat box, please. Okay, we've got a quiet group today. Okay, I'm just going to stress, please be interactive with this. I know I'm not talking to myself. I'm not talking at anyone, right? So please post in the chat box what's going on with you. Right, okay. Okay, someone says irregular cycle, adrenal fatigue, weak memory, difficulty losing weight, okay. Loss of period, okay. Okay, and just to know, if you want to send me a direct message rather than post for everyone to see, please feel free to do that as well. Okay, difficulty losing weight. Okay, I think that's usually a general theme with a lot of women, and we don't tend to think that to make that connection with hormone and weight loss. I did a room, I'm on Clubhouse. I don't know if anybody knows Clubhouse. It's this platform where you can have rooms and talk about different topics. And I ran a session on Tuesday about weight loss and hormones, how weight loss, your hormones affect the way, your weight, basically. So yeah, so that's a common thing I'm seeing, difficulty losing weight, and, just those, that few extra pounds or kilos you want to lose, and it's not shifted. So I'm here to tell you that it's not your fault. You're probably doing everything right, but when you check in with your hormones to see what's going on, either your thyroid or your insulin levels, those are the 2 hormones you would need to check into to see what's going on with that. Because especially when you're stressed out, high cortisol levels, if you're experiencing high stress levels, the cortisol level is high, and that has an impact on your insulin levels. And insulin is there to regulate it tells your body to store fat when, and regulate your sugar levels and as well. So you want to check in with your insulin and your thyroid levels. Go get those checked, because I always say to women that you need to know what your numbers are. We'll come into I'll talk about that in more detail in a bit. You need to know what your numbers are. And when I mean what your numbers are, what your hormone levels are like and what they're doing, right? So what are hormones? Hormones are the body's chemical messengers. They travel through the bloodstream, to tissues and organs. And hormones such as estrogen, progesterone, like I just talked about just now, insulin, you've got testosterone and adrenaline, are extremely important chemical messengers that affect many aspects of your overall health. So you want to always check in with what's going on with your hormones on a regular basis. And the seven main female hormones, estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, thyroid, like I talked about just now, DHEA, testosterone, and androstenedione. These are the main female hormones, and the main reproductive hormones that we need to pay attention to, estrogen and progesterone, because these two work hand in hand. And when one is out of balance, the other, it just causes a myriad of symptoms that you experience. And so you want to check in with what your hormones are doing. And hormones affect growth and development, metabolism, sexual function, reproduction, your mood as well. These are just a few of the bodily functions that the hormones directly affect. Where are hormones produced? I always, when I was going through my research and my healing journey, I needed to delve to understand where, what hormones are produced and how, everything about hormones. And I feel, I'm including this in this class because I feel like if we just have the basic understanding of the hormones and how it affects our lives, our mood, our reproduction, our way of thinking, our eating habits so much, then we are equipped in a better way to feed our body what it needs to thrive and get our hormones in balance. And we pay attention, we're more aware of what affects us negatively and what we need, like I said, to thrive on a daily basis. What sort of foods, how stress affects us, and what are the signs and symptoms. So this is what brings everything together. This is giving you the tools and the information you need to live on a daily basis in a more balanced way, right? So the hormones are produced in the endocrine system, and the endocrine system, it controls the way the body functions. And like I said, it produces the hormones that travel through all parts of the body, the tissues and the organs. And the different organs of the endocrine system, you can see on that image right there, is the hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, pancreas. So all these organs make up the endocrine system. And the endocrine system is directly involved in growth and development, metabolism, nutrient regulation, and overall homeostasis. And the other thing is, I'm going to be talking about essential oils, and specifically because I use essential oils as one of the tools in my toolkit to help me balance hormones and supplement as well. And I am going to be talking in particular about the brand that I use, because here's the thing. The essential oil industry is not well regulated, and you have a lot of products on the market that have been, diluted or mixed with products that shouldn't be mixed with. So you want to be careful on what brand of essential oils you use and where it's coming from, and do your research. The brand that I use is from a company called doTERRA, and they produce certified, pure, tested grade oils. So, and I am, super sure that these oils are pure, they're clean, and will not cause any harm, but always will cause good. And for me, I talk about going back to nature, right? Everything is holistic, everything's about, because we're blessed on the planet with, with the tools that we need, with the food, with the herbs, the spices, everything that we need to heal us and keep us healthy. We just kind of don't use them and don't pay attention to them. But after what we've been through, we're still in the middle of the whole pandemic, we're going crazy. A lot more people are asking the question, how do we go back to nature? So that's a whole lot of conversation that I will not delve deep into, but I just say that a lot of people need to focus more on natural way of living and eating rather than the processed, synthetic products that are on the market right now. Stop looking for a quick fix. Let's go back to nature and let nature heal us, because that is what our body understands, right? Okay, so what are the causes of hormonal imbalance? You have hormone-based contraceptive going on the pill, pregnancy and childbirth, being overweight, endocrine disruptors like xenoestrogens. These are chemicals and toxins in our day-to-day products, skincare products, home products, food, that get into the body and mimic our natural hormones. So they cause a problem when that happens. Blood sugar imbalances, food allergies, unhealthy gut. Here's the thing, your gut, a lot of your hormones are produced in your gut. You have a compromised gut, then your hormones are sure to be compromised as well. So you want to pay attention to healing your gut if you already have compromised gut health. Inflammation caused by poor diet and lifestyle, exercise, we need to look at our diet, high amount of stress. I know so many of us have been under tremendous amount of stress, different levels, a different type of stress now, pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. It's, well, we're not post, we're still in the middle of it, but it's a different type of stress. Lack of sleep and rest, aging, and toxicity, as I talked about before. And the problem is a lot of people, younger people, are experiencing hormonal imbalance right now. And there's so many possible causes. Like I've just gone through some of them, there are a lot more. But what are the signs of hormonal imbalance? Some of you have already highlighted the, I think there's somebody unmuted. Can you all mute your mics, please? That would be great. So some of you have already, mentioned some of the symptoms here: infertility, irregular periods, unexplained weight gain or weight loss, depression, anxiety, fatigue, insomnia, mood swings, hair loss and thinning, joint aches and pain, poor memory, hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, changes in appetite. So the hormones have a lot to do with this signs, the symptoms. But some specific problems associated with some of the most common hormonal imbalances include estrogen dominance, like I mentioned earlier on, which is one of the factors that creates some cancer, breast cancer. PCOS, low estrogen, low progesterone, hypothyroidism or hyper, diabetes, adrenal fatigue, fibroids, and endometriosis. Another, estrogen, the one factor linked to the cause of fibroids is estrogen dominance, although doctors don't usually say that, but it's been found there, studies about it that show that one of the factors that creates fibroids is estrogen dominance. So how do you test? The usual testing that's done, you can do a saliva test, which is the preferred method for women, because that gives you a better indication of what's going on with your hormones, especially when it comes to cortisol. Because if you go for cortisol test and it's done through a blood test, that's taking your levels at one point in the day. And the thing is, your cortisol levels fluctuate throughout the day because your stress levels fluctuate throughout the day, depending on what's going on from one minute to the other. When you wake up, it's different. It could be high or low. So it's always best to take, do the saliva test, which is taken at 4 points in the day: when you wake up, midday, in the afternoon, and in the evening. So that gives you a better indication of what's going on with your cortisol level through the day. And then, like I said, the blood test, yes, you can get the blood test done. It's also ideal for testing male testosterone levels. So what are the treatment options? We have the conventional treatment. I'm sure a lot of you have gone to your healthcare provider, and I know a lot of women have come to me feeling, different type of ways, and different symptoms, and they've been to the healthcare provider, and they've indicated to me that they were about to be prescribed the pill, or like it says on here, insulin injections, hormone replacement therapies, HRTs, or as thyroid medications, or even antidepressants have featured in some of the prescriptions that a lot of women who have come to me that I've worked with have said, my doctor prescribed me antidepressants because they feel it has to do with my with depression or my mood swings or whatever it is, but they don't want to take medication. And I know a lot of women don't want to resort to medication. So they're looking for alternative ways, which is why they come to me. They're looking for more natural, holistic methods, or looking for answers, first and foremost, as to why they're feeling the way they're feeling. And I know with doctors, they necessarily look at delve deep into the hormone panel testing, because they just do basic thyroid testing, which is not good enough to indicate, I'm going to sneeze in a minute, sorry, which doesn't give you the full picture of what's going on with your hormones, because there are other hormonal tests to be done. And then you have natural remedies without experiencing negative side effects, which is looking at your diet, looking at getting rid of xenoestrogens, your skincare products, getting all these chemicals and toxins out of your body, looking at your stress levels. So I have on my website a hormone balance quiz, which you can jump onto the website to take that quiz. That will give you, it's not going to give you a full picture, it should just give you an indication as to what next you should do, and what hormones may be causing you some problems and may be out of balance. So it's all about getting to the point of hormonal balance. So what are the natural ways to prevent hormonal imbalance? So like I talked about, it's all about, first of all, looking at your diet. And I know a lot of people drink a lot of coffee. Coffee impacts your hormonal balance. So limit your intake of caffeine. It's not just caffeine is in all these energy drinks, which contain other chemicals as well. Limit your level of your caffeine intake from caffeinated beverages, especially coffee, because a lot of people cannot function on without the coffee first thing in the morning. I know that. And if you're one of those people that cannot function without having coffee in the morning, check in with your hormones to see what's going on, check in with your stress levels, your adrenals, what's going on, right? So eating a low glycemic diet, a variety of foods high in short, medium, and long chain fatty acids will help to balance your hormones and keep them in check. So what you want to do is swap out the carbs for good fats and complex carbs. Here's the thing I always hear constantly, people saying that they're going on a carb-free diet. Please don't do that, because the thing is, your body needs carbohydrates to produce energy for one thing and to function. There are two types of carbohydrates. You've got simple carbs and the complex carbs. What you need to stay away from is the simple carbs, which is the white flour, the cakes, the sweets, all those white foods, pasta, rice, all the white stuff. Stay away from them. The processed foods, stay away from them, and fill up more with complex carbohydrates. The legumes, the vegetables. You can get your complex carbs from vegetables, and coconut oil, and all those great natural sources of good complex carbohydrates. Increasing dietary omega-3s. Our body needs fat. This is another thing. People think they need to cut out fat from their diet. No, you don't. You need to cut out the trans fats, right? And get in good sources of fat and dietary omega-3. Your body needs fat to actually produce the hormones that it needs, right? And it also factors in the rebuilding of your cells. So you need the good sources of fat, like from nuts and seeds, from avocado, from wild-caught, salmon, the fish. So please, as much as possible, include these more natural foods. And then when it comes to your sleep, sleep is so important. It is really, really super important to sleep, to get good quality 7 to 8 hours sleep. Because when you sleep is when your body heals itself. When you sleep is when your hormones, repair themselves. And, when you sleep is when your body releases toxins that it doesn't need anymore, right? And if you do not get good quality sleep, you find that during the day. If you've been in a situation where during the day you feel like you're eating everything in sight, you're constantly eating, right? This is just one of the symptoms of lack of sleep. You're constantly eating throughout the day and you don't know why you're not feeling full. If you don't get enough sleep, a couple of hormones, leptin and ghrelin, are hormones that regulate your the way you eat. It tells you when you're hungry, it tells you when you're satiated. So if you're not getting good quality sleep and your hormones are out of balance, those two are out of balance. So that's one of the reasons why you find that you're constantly eating during the day, whether you're hungry or not, and you don't feel satisfied. So checking, if you feel like that sometimes, checking with yourself to know if you've had good amount of sleep the night before and what quality of sleep did you have, right? So good quality 7 to 8 hours sleep balances your hormones. And if a disrupted pattern would trigger this, stress hormones, and that would deplete your adrenals, and it sets off a chain of hormone imbalance right there. And the other thing we need to do is increase, if you are taking magnesium and vitamin D, go get your vitamin D levels checked, and magnesium, to see if you're taking ample, your recommended daily amount of vitamin D and magnesium. If you're not taking magnesium at all, or vitamin D, you need to be doing that, especially if you're in a country like the UK or US where you don't get enough sunlight. Your body needs vitamin D, and you need to supplement with good quality vitamin D. So magnesium helps to promote sleep and allows your muscles to relax, and is crucial for achieving a better hormonal health. And you can get this from dark leafy green vegetables, pumpkin seeds, and fish as well. And getting a good exposure to sunlight, that's where you get your vitamin D from. So in the morning, you only need about 10 to 15 minutes. And here's the thing, if you're going out in the morning to get your vitamin D, make sure your skin you don't put any moisturizer on, because this blocks the penetration of the vitamin D into your system. So you need clear skin, 10 to 15 minutes, you're good to go, right? And if you're to check what time, there's some apps that you can use. I'm trying to find what the app is, that can tell you the best time to get vitamin D, to get your vitamin D. There's an app called D-Minder. You can go on App Store, or if you're on Android, onto the Google Apps and download an app called D-Minder. This tells you when to go out, when the best time to get your vitamin D levels in whatever country you're in. So that's always a good app to have on your phone. I have it on my phone. That's what I was checking just now because I couldn't remember what it was called. So you want to do that. But if you're not in a country, like I said, the UK, where it's not always very sunny, you need to supplement with a good source of vitamin D. Always check and research the company, the brand you're getting your supplements from. Again, the supplement industry is not very well regulated, so you need to make sure that you're getting a good brand, a good source of vitamin D from the products you're buying. So again, if you can get enough sun, take the supplements. And when it comes to supplements, like I talked about earlier, and I'm going to be talking about doTERRA products, they have a line, a trio called Lifelong Vitality, which I take myself, and is the foundational nutrition for optimum hormonal balance and energy levels. And it's packed with nature's most powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatories and energy cofactors. This is plant-based, no kidding you. It is all plant-based from nature sources, and you can get this, from the company called doTERRA. I'll talk a bit about how you can do that towards the end. They also have a product called Bone Nutrient, bioavailable nutrition for men and women for bone integrity, strength, and overall health. Here's the thing: as we age, we lose bone density, right? So, and especially for those who have been through cancer, there is that risk of getting osteoporosis. So you need to have, this product is very, very good for replenishing that, and helping with weak or fragile bones, bone fractures, and growing individuals as well. And then for hormonal balance, there is the phytoestrogen complex, which is a natural form of estrogen-like therapy. It doesn't actually contain estrogen, and it helps, it assists in balancing hormonal, balancing your hormones, and but also getting rid of any excess harmful estrogen metabolites. It minimizes unwanted symptoms associated with menstrual cycle, and it is just one of the best things that, products, and again, it is all natural products. It's all plant-based rather. So adding coconut oil to your diet, yes, it is fat, but it's a good source of fat, and it helps to produce hormones and reduce inflammation, and can also aid in weight loss. Surprise, yes, not a lot of you will be surprised by that, but it can aid in weight loss as well. So virgin coconut oil is what you want to get into your diet every day. I use it every day. Sometimes I put in my smoothies. I use it to cook. I actually, also use it as part of my skincare as well. Taking up regular low impact exercise. Here's the thing: if you are already experiencing hormonal imbalance, you don't want to go doing, you don't want to be doing any strenuous exercise at all, because that will be counterproductive and increasing your stress level, which means your cortisol is being increased, and which impacts your insulin and your estrogen and progesterone as well. So you want to choose low impact exercise that can be easily regulated, like swimming or yoga, or 30 minutes of brisk walking is always a good start, and then you move it on to adding different types of exercise into your regime. And where it comes to gut health, like I said initially, 10 minutes ago or so, a lot of your hormones are produced in your gut. We have trillions and trillions of bacteria in the gut, good and bad bacteria. And we want the ratio of the good bacteria to be way up there, and bad bacteria down. So you want more good bacteria than bad bacteria, right? So adding a good source of probiotic to your daily diet and regime will help you achieve this. And there is, from doTERRA again, they have a good source of plant-based probiotics, which is called PB Assist. So also your diet plays a huge role. You can have fermented foods as well that contain the good sources of bacteria into your diet. Foods like sauerkraut and kimchi, or what's the other one I'm looking at? The kefir, and those are foods that actually contain good sources of bacteria that will help to inoculate your gut and help to heal if you already have compromised gut health, right? So what would be your hormonal health? These are, I'm sharing this information with you because this will equip you. This will help you to think and be more aware of what you're putting into your body. And when it comes to the liver health, your liver is your main detoxification organ, and it also helps to detoxify excess bad estrogen from your body, because a lot of the estrogen, the body would use the good estrogen and excrete the bad one. So if your liver is not functioning at optimum level, then all that's going to happen is that your estrogen, the bad estrogen, is circulating through your system, right? Okay, I'm just seeing a question. And oh, by the way, if you do have any question, please post it in the chat box, and I will be answering questions as we go along. And the question is, how about plain yogurt for gut health? Here's the thing about dairy. Let's touch briefly on the topic of dairy. So dairy products, the best way to do this, let's start with milk. We are the only species on the planet that have milk after toddler age, right? The body is not able to process that properly once you get past toddler age. And then the other thing about dairy is the animals are fed with antibiotic, growth hormones that leak into the food supply, right? So that's what you have going on there with all the, and then with the yogurt, it's processed, especially, please, if you're buying low fat or zero fat yogurt, you don't want to be doing that. And these are fortified with synthetic products, because once it's, oh my God, when I get on the topic of this, the dairy, it just gets me really, really, what's me up. Anyway, so the thing about dairy is we need to, because the body is not able to digest it properly, you don't want to have just that plain dairy products. And one of the, and if you are also intolerant to dairy products, then you really don't want to be having that as well. So I would opt for more plant-based dairy options, more plant-based options when it comes to replace the dairy, because you've got the coconut yogurt, you've got almond, all the nutmeg melts as well. So opt for those. And when I work with people that have gut health issues, the first thing that goes away, I get them to eliminate, is dairy. And once they eliminate the dairy, they feel so much better. So you want to, as much as possible, stay away from the mainstream dairy products if you want to heal your gut, right? I know not everybody is intolerant to dairy products, but you want to, as much as possible, minimize because of what's being put in the system, in the food system. You really don't want to be going that way at all, right? So be aware and focus more on your on where you get your food sources from. Yeah, your food products from, actually. Yeah, the source of your food products. That's what I meant to say, right? So here are some recommendations to reduce toxic load. Eating an organic whole foods diet. I know a lot of you might be thinking, but organic is expensive. Yes, I know. It can be expensive, which is why there are ways around it. So if you go onto the website called ewg.org, is the environmental wellness group. They have come up with this, the clean 15 and dirty dozen. And the dirty dozen are produce that they've highlighted that you always need to buy those produce organic. And the clean 15, you can buy, mainstream, normal fruit, vegetables or fruits. And, some of the items that would come on the list of dirty dozen are the leafy greens, the berries, celery, anything that's open with soft apples, with soft exterior, you want to buy those as organic. And other products on the clean 15, such as avocado, oranges, clementines, lemons, limes, all those with a hard exterior to give you an idea of, produce you can buy. Mainstream, you don't have to buy them organic. Eat an antibiotic and hormone-free, eat antibiotic and hormone-free meats, fish, and dairy. So if you're going, opting for dairy, you're not intolerant to it. Please, as much as possible, check out the source of the dairy products. Make sure they're from hormone-free, grass-fed, animals, the fish, wild-caught fish, and not farmed fish. Check out your water filtration system. Stop drinking plastic bottled water because you're drinking plastic and water, right? So because the plastic, once you don't know where it's traveled from, and a lot of this are on trucks, exposed to sunlight, which just releases the plastic into the water. So you want to get a good filter system going on in your home, or glass bottled water. Using high quality air purifier, getting a diffuser, diffusing essential oils. Like I talked about before, avoiding caffeine, alcohol, and smoking, avoiding plastics, swap out chemical household cleaners and soaps and antibacterial products from more natural brands, and use chemical-free beauty and skincare products. There are a lot of companies right now that produce clean skincare and beauty products, and better still, you can actually make them yourself. I make my own skincare products. I really don't have time, which is why it's easy for me. And I use doTERRA essential oils, get shea butter and coconut, fractionated coconut oil, mix that. That's my skin and hair care products, literally. It doesn't take a lot of time. And here are some products for looking after your liver. Because like I said, it's your main detoxification organ and you need to look after it properly. With lemon is a very good way, to drinking when you wake up in the morning to detoxify yourself. Wake up in the morning, lemon and warm water in the morning. With doTERRA, they are that pure that you can ingest them. So I use the lemon oil, 1 drop of lemon oil in my glass of water in the morning, or the product called Simasasi or Zendocrine, which is soft gels to help your liver to detoxify itself. And coming on to my favorite subjects, including essential oils in your daily routine. They can enrich your life by enhancing mind, body, and spirit. They're easily absorbed through the skin due to the small molecular size. They provide antioxidants. They're powerful antioxidants rather, and prevent oxidation in cells. They're antibacterial, anti-cancer, antifungal, anti-everything that you can actually think of. They're nature's gift to mankind. And here are some of the oil blends that are great for hormonal balance. This is a blend done by doTERRA, and it is rose, and it is quite good for hormonal balance. You apply over your heart for emotional balance. It boosts the libido and promotes openness and confidence. And it provides, once you apply to your lower abdomen, it provides relief from menstrual discomfort and promotes regular ovulation. So it's a good one to have. Another blend is Claricam, which I personally use, and seriously, I actually use this as my perfume as well because the smell is just divine, but its hormone balancing effects are fantastic. So it helps with hot flashes, mood swings, cramps, and PMS as well. So it is a very, very good blend of oils to have in your toolkit. And some other hormone balancing essential oils, there's thyme, which helps to boost progesterone, because when you have an imbalance in progesterone, low progesterone, it helps to boost progesterone levels to get it back to in sync with estrogen. Clary sage is very good for overall hormonal balance. Fennel, sandalwood, and Roman chamomile. So those are the main tips. Here are some bonus tips for you. If you do have any questions, please feel free to put it in a chat box and I will come to them as I go along. So to balance your hormones naturally, I talked about xenoestrogens, eliminating toxins from your skincare products, your hair care products, your home cleaning products, because these contain harmful chemicals, parabens, and sodium lauryl sulfate, and which makes the your shampoo and shower gel lather even more. These are chemicals that potentially have a negative impact on your hormones, and also mimic create other hormones that mimic your body's natural hormones and cause havoc to your overall health and wellness. And like I said, EWG.org, they have another part of it, which is called Skin Dip, which is a database that contains a lot of the cosmetics that have been produced. It is quite American based, but a lot of the products there are mainstream products where you can go on there and check your skincare products that you're using to see what chemicals are in there. But the main thing is, the easiest thing is, if you take your skincare products and read the ingredients list, you can't really pronounce any of the chemicals, any of the ingredients on that list. So if you can't pronounce them, you don't know what it is and it shouldn't be going into your system. So you want to start, at that point first, to start cleaning out your skincare, hair care, and home care, home cleaning products. Avoiding processed and refined foods. We've talked about that. The refined white flour, sugar, processed meats, the GMOs, and soda and microwave foods, frozen foods, hydrogenated oils you want to get, and diet foods and beverages. You want to cut this out because not only are they do they impact your hormones or cause hormonal imbalance, but they are also cancer-causing foods as well. Reduce antibiotics. I know we're in a world of pill poppers and we just want a quick fix. And doctors have been known to prescribe antibiotics for viruses, unfortunately, which have absolutely no effect. So as much as you can, try to go with nature, having things like produce like ginger, garlic, these have antibiotic effects, right? But if you absolutely have to have antibiotics, please make sure you're taking them with probiotics, because the thing about antibiotics, the antibiotics do, as well as killing the bad bacteria, it kills a lot of the good bacteria as well. So you want to re-inoculate yourself with probiotics while you're taking antibiotics. Okay, so that is a lot of the information I have to share with you. I know I rushed through it a bit because I wanted to keep it under an hour and have time to answer questions and talk about my new program that is starting, my new group program that starts on the 4th of, on Monday, the 4th of October. So the new program is called the Reset, Balance and Thrive program. And it's a 6-week online group program where you have weekly calls, coaching calls with me. You have access to a 12-day hormone balance cleanse program, and you will be, creating your own diet plan and getting into essential oils and creating a personal self-care plan that's tailored to your needs. And what else what to expect from the program? On week 1, we'll be talking about riding the hormonal roller coaster. Week 2, knowing your numbers. I talked about knowing your numbers before, so we'll delve deeper into it, and I'll walk you through everything. And I have a list of a hormone panel that you can actually take to your doctor to order, ask them to order those tests for you to have those tests done so you know what's going on with your hormones. And we'll talk about how you nourish your body. Week 4 is about calming your mind, distressing yourself. Week 5 is about serving yourself. And week 6 is bringing all the information together to see how and creating that self-care plan for yourself. So the total value of everything you're going to be getting is literally £3,000. And I am offering it because it's a new program, and I'm keeping the size of the group to a very small size of about 10 to 15 ladies, right? So, and here's the thing. I am offering this at a hugely discounted rate of £49. Here's why. I want to get your feedback on your experience going through the 6-week program, right? So that is why this is a one-time offer. This is the only time I'm going to be offering this program at this price. So grab it now while you can. And it's only valid until Monday, 20th September. The price goes away and it will revert back to the regular price of $497. So if you want to be part of this group program, which starts on Monday, the 4th of October, now is your time to just get it at this one-time price of £49. If you have any questions about the program, I'm going to take questions now after the program. I will share the link with you. I will send out an email with the link for you to sign up to the program as soon as possible. Right, okay, I'm going to come to questions now. So if you do have any questions, you're welcome, Sonia. If you do have any questions, please feel free to post it in the chat box. A few people who knew they weren't able to make it to the second or live class sent me some questions. So I'm just going to go through those. While for the rest of you, if you do have any questions, I think I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I will go through the questions, and I will share the link to the information for the group program right here now. So if you do have any questions, post it in the chat box, and I will, hang on 1 second. This is trying to get the correct link, so I'm not posting gibberish in here. It will go out as an email as well. So I'm just posting the link in now so you can grab that. So yeah, there's the link. Okay, so what one of the questions that came in is what types of tests can be done? Like I just talked about, the testing, I have a specific hormone panel that I share with my clients, and I will be sharing that in the group program. And we're going to go delve deep into why these tests are necessary for you to take, and how they will, how they affect your health and wellness. So we'll be going through the hormone panel test through the group program. So feel free to take advantage of the promotional offer price there. So we will be going through that in week 2 on the testing. The other question, well, I tend to eat erratically through the day sometimes. Is this linked to hormones? Yes, I just talked about it through, the lady that sent this question, I'm sure by the time you get to this point, your question would have been answered, because I talked about sleep and looking at your stress levels, what your stress levels are doing, because they impact your hormones. Leptin and ghrelin are the hormones that actually regulate your eating patterns. So you want to make sure that you're getting adequate amount of sleep, as well as checking in with your stress levels, what's going on with that. Okay. What type of diet should I eat in relation to hormone? In relation to hormones. Oh, okay. So we will be delving into diet. I talked about it again. This is another question that I answered through the class, so you would have had an answer to your question by now. But I delved deeper into your diet through the program. We'll be touching on the diet on week 1 of the program. So, like I said, take advantage of the offer because it goes away on Monday. This Monday, 20th of September. So the program is there to help you, reset, increase energy, balance your mood, lose weight, improve skin, strengthen your immune system, and also reduce hormonal imbalance symptoms and get you to a more balanced place so you can live your best life and through the transition. So what you get, like I said, is 6 weeks of coaching in the group. You get 12-day hormone balance cleanse program, and you get a whole myriad of information. And this all helps you to balance your hormones without having to go on the pill or HRT or antidepressants. Have all-day energy without the caffeine or stimulants. It will help you to feel focused and in control of your mood without the medication. And it will help you feel confident because you now understand what your body needs to thrive. And best of all, it will help you lose weight so you feel light and fabulous in your own skin. So helping you lose that extra, the last few pounds or kilos of weight that you're trying to kill yourself to lose and it's not shifting, it will help you to do that. Okay, so okay, I have one question. Does molasses have an effect on hormones? Is it advisable to use that? I guess the question is, why are you using molasses and what are you using it for? You have to be careful where you get it from, because a lot of them just turn out to be sugar that have color added to it. So if you're looking for an alternative source of sugar, I wouldn't go for molasses. I would go for coconut palm sugar or maple syrup. Those are the two that I actually use, or stevia. Stevia is also plant-based. And be careful if you're opting for stevia. I don't personally like stevia because it has an aftertaste that I don't like. But if you're going for stevia, which doesn't, spike the blood sugar level, it's actually much better, source of sweetness for diabetics. If you're going for stevia, please don't go for the white stuff because it has been bleached. Stevia in its natural raw form should be brown or brownish or greenish, right, powder, or you can go for the tincture, which is the liquid in a brown bottle. So I would opt for those, either the stevia or excuse me, coconut palm sugar or maple syrup, in that order. You can also use honey, but honey has a slightly higher glycemic index than all the other options I've just mentioned. Okay, you use maple at times. Okay, that's good. I would opt for maple syrup or coconut palm sugar or stevia, whichever one. Just, it's all trial and error. So try, you can get all these and try them out and see what works for you. I've tried so many different options because one of the things that I did do to get away from sugar, because I ate a lot of sugar. Sugar is another factor that helps cancer cells. They feed on, cancer cells feed on sugar, right? And I'm a sweet tooth. I was eating a lot of sugar. So that was factor number 2 that led me on that trajectory to that, on that space of cancer. So my body was the breeding ground for the cells to thrive. And I wasn't helping matters because I had gut health problems. I had bad diet, processed food, sugar, not sleeping well, aches and pains and everything going on, not drinking enough water. So all those factors, were just the catalyst to getting that diagnosis. And I've since cleaned out a lot of my diet. I'm not saying I don't have processed food sometimes, but I rarely do. And one of the main things, it was a long process, it was difficult for me to do, was cutting out the processed sugar because I've got such a sweet tooth. And since I've been doing that, I juice a lot. Now, if I actually eat some of like the chocolates or what I used to eat before that was sweet, seriously, for me right now, it's like I'm crushing on sugar crystals, right? So I just, can't eat what I used to eat before because I've cleaned out so much, my palate has changed. And, again, it's not an overnight thing, but it happens over time. You just have to carry on and keep going and keep plugging away and doing the things, trying different things and seeing what works for you. Because, it's not a one size fits all when it comes to holistic health. It's definitely not a one size fits all. So as much as you can, try things out and see how you get on and find what works for you in the long run. Okay, so great. If there are no other questions, I am going to sign off and stop recording. And if you do have any questions about the program, you'll be getting an email about it in more detail shortly. If you have any questions about the program or anything I've mentioned here on the class today, please reach out to me via email or responding to any of the messages I send you, so I can support you better. Okay, great. So, and also for the doTERRA products, please reach out to me as well, because these are seriously the best thing, decision I ever made was getting onto doTERRA products. It's a direct sales company, so you can only get the products directly from them through a wellness advocate. So as much as you can, jump onto doTERRA.com to find out more about it, or you can reach out to me directly and I can get on a call with you to walk you through the products, what they do, how to get them, and just start changing your skincare and hair care products and home cleaning products, because that's the best way to get going on cleaning out all this, estrogen, the toxic chemicals from the system that compromise your hormonal health. Okay, so all that's left for me to say, if there are no other questions. Okay, great. So there's nothing. So thank you so much for joining me on this call. Always good to serve you and provide this information. And yeah, have a great rest of the day wherever you are, morning, afternoon, night. And I will connect with you again soon. Take care.